Area code 951.
You're on the air with Brenda and Jen.
Yeah, how are you?
We're good.
Great.
How are you? How can we help you?
I was wondering,
Yeah.
well, I've been told before that possibly on the shoulder that there's been some negativity kind of directed towards the family, or maybe meeting somebody young and easier to target. But is that possible for that to happen when a person is younger and that can actually affect your life throughout your life?
Yes, from understanding your statement, there's many different variables. If you have to remember that the world is created with a code. The trees you see, from the roots all the way up to the leaves, that's a code. Being a woman, that's a code. And the culture you're in, that's a code. Religion that you're in, that's a code. And if there's any bad connotations to any of these things, it can affect you, but it will also may not affect you. Just genetically, if it falls down the family line, that's the main thing we're doing is healing, is all of the stuff that we chose with our soul to say yes to, what if, and now we're unlearning what we've learned, and we chose the family and the environment so that we can look at what our soul's choices were and ready to either repeat them or to heal them. So in this case, negativity is in the group consciousness all around us. I teach people how to unplug from that and plug into a different group consciousness of a higher vibration.
Yeah, I personally don't have me. I don't think that personally that it's affecting my life.
Is it affecting your life right now? No, but it could. Do you know exactly what kind of negativity? Because I don't feel this is a curse.
Maybe just like this opportunity, bad luck, or maybe financially.
Okay.
So, what is it? Ley lines that were in the house that when growing up?
Yeah, I can feel that too. Energies that run through the house can affect the family. Now, when it comes to you, I'm going to ask a question directly from your spirit and your soul. Is there a curse upon her? No. Is she doomed to have to repeat failure? No. You chose the family to show you what your belief systems are with your soul and what needs to be addressed so that you can get out of this situation, because you have really, what they say, if you want it out of it, you go for it, you will succeed. Well, it feels like no matter how much she does, it feels like it's something stopping her.
It's like an anchor tied, or the ball and chain, from that family growing up was tied around your ankle, that you're shackled to it in some degree.
And what this is showing up as is mortification. And I know this oh too well. Do you understand what we're talking about so far? Are you able to succeed right now, or do you feel like you put so much effort into it but not seeing results?
No, I don't feel that. I think it has to be in my, maybe not trying or something. Yeah. No, I just didn't know that.
Okay.
How that works.
All right. Well, let me show you, or let me tell you what's happening. I feel like people have said that maybe you're lazy, you're not working hard. Group consciousness says the reason you don't have success is because it's physically this, and this, and this. You can always find a physical answer to a situation. But there's a party that doesn't know if you want to apply yourself because you have seen some results that were not fruitful. So why try hard? It's like you've seen the answer, the future, so why try hard? Does this make sense?
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
And in this case, this is like your 100th time around is your soul saying, damn, again? Okay, I'm just going to sit this one out. But what they're saying is it goes back to mortification. Probably about 1 month, 1 month after you were born, there was something that happened to the parents, and so they were mortified, like financial crisis or something. But you picked it up. What's that?
My dad was a raging alcoholic.
Aha! Okay. Yes. And that there will cause one to be mortified. But mortification But
It could
mortification.
also be the reputation of the family, like she came from such and such family, so therefore such and such is going to happen, and that's part of the mortification. The teachers would say whatever.
Yep.
Any clubs that you join.
But she feels the arrogance energy. See, there's a part of her that wants to be. I have looked up how to become arrogant and then how to spot an arrogance. And as I started to teach it in my empowerment class, what we discovered is that we throw the baby out with the bathwater. We want to be ourselves, but we don't want people to label us as arrogant. And no matter how much we do our best not to be arrogant, somehow we're still labeled. Oh, you understand what I'm saying? Okay. In this case, one of the things that mortification happens is you can actually literally feel the strength drain out of you. And that usually relates to, have you been shamed? Have you been in an ashamed experience? Shaming is a way to make you grow. You know, so if shame follows you, then I would definitely tell you that you need to heal shame or being mortified in any experience. And what happens is I just started to, I've been looking at defining mortification for many years. And the one big thing that I was looking at was arrogance. I healed out arrogance. Now, I have been a medicine woman and in practice and helping, and it was successful, but not, it was always balanced out. There was nothing super succeeding. There was nothing over the top. I never reached a peak. And it's like, what the hell? So when I looked at arrogance and the shaming that it happens, I then the next day, all of a sudden, I got 3 clients that called right up and says, I need help. And then things were just picking up. I'm seeing evidence because I chose to change the frequency or the code. And you will see it. When you heal, you will see it, and you need to witness this. And they're saying, you're just like, yeah, whatever. And they're saying if you were to look at that energy of being shamed, shame can happen in front of you, shame can happen to you, shame can happen from you. You got to look at all this. Oh, that happens when see, this is the proof to her right now why she needs to heal it, because this is what happens to her. She's about ready to have the good thing, and then it falls out or falls through, or so you just gave yourself proof. Okay, so I would definitely say heal mortification and arrogance. All right,
thank you. Right, so we're sorry if we're missing anything in the chat room.
So and 336 area code, which is Karen. If you think there's something important that we're missing, then raise your little hand and we'll pay attention, because we want to address, because the people in the chat room are very important to us as well. All of you are. Oh. Okay, so let's
Let's
that
jump
real
to her
quick
before we go to the next
Okay,
caller.
before we get to the next caller, Karen, what are we missing?
You're not missing anything. I just want to let you know that.
Oh, thank you, honey. Okay,
Thank you.
I don't think that what you were saying when the sound was lost will be in the archive, because I think that the whole PTR thing probably lost. I mean, I didn't hear you on the phone either.
Oh.
Okay, so thank you. I will readdress that. Okay, I will address that right now and put it, say it again. I appreciate you telling me that. Okay, put your little hand down so that unless there's something else you need, you'll put it up. Okay, thanks, sweetie. Oh, she always has our back.
Thank you.
She's had my back a lot. Okay, so, what we're going to do is that if you can't find in the archive, because maybe BTR did something, what we want to address is the mortification, the arrogance, and what we'll do is we're going to put the video up so that you can re-watch it. So if you can't ever listen to the full archive, because for whatever reason, I do my best to make sure the video of Blog Talk, which you can find on Medicine Woman, the number 4, the letter U, and then remember it's Medicine Woman with an A, the number 4, the letter U.com. Okay, or sorry.
It's on YouTube.
On YouTube.
And that's her channel.
.com/.
And you can be subscribe to her channel, which is Medicine Woman, AN, for you.
.com.
And
for you.
For you. That's the channel. And so
Yeah.
tomorrow afternoon, usually, that'll be up on YouTube, and then you'll know kind of like they go in 20-minute segments roughly on YouTube.
Yeah, I'll do my best. I'm still missing last Wednesdays for whatever reason. But we get them up there as much as we can, as fast as we can. So if you, like I said, if you miss it into the archives on Blog Talk, you can find it on the YouTube. Okay, so
mortification and arrogance.
Mortification and arrogance, I'm going to do my best just to show that again, since many of you did not get this. Mortification is when you take an experience that you've been shamed. Now you have to understand about energy. Energy can happen to you. It can come from you. It can happen in front of you. It can be in you. It could be around you. And you can experience it maybe not in your field, but you could watch it with people. But somehow if you have an issue with it and it needs closure, you will be affected by this. Mortification, you will feel all the strength drain out of you, and it feels like you have no hope. There is no way of changing it. And literally, you will feel like, what's the use? Mortified is throwing yourself off that experience of centered, of happiness, and you don't know what the hell to do with it. Okay? And you almost get stuck in believing what is yours becomes theirs. For example, I had a dream where a friend of mine was looking at my plate of food and then yells and says, "Oh, you always do that, don't you?" And I said, "What? Take what I want." "Oh, I'm sorry," and I gave him my plate of food. Okay? But what that meant is that I had been convinced shamed that it was his. And it wasn't mine in the first place. And it was really strange energy. But it really needs to be addressed. What's led to that is arrogance. Arrogance is that part where, you think you're better than anybody. You have to have that edge. You have to have them fear of you. You have to be polite. You have to be wonderful. And they are like the silver platter people. They will give you everything, but then take it away if they need to. Then it's like throwing the baby out with the bathwater. You want to become successful, and you need to carry that vulnerability. You need to carry your authenticity. You need to carry your persona that you are centered and loved, and that you have the self-esteem, and you have the knowledge, and that will precede you. But you don't need the bullishness that comes with it, the bullying and all that comes with it.
Right.
And so, again,
or you just become so used to that bullies are out there that some degree that arrogance becomes a protection, and that's how you overcome being shamed. And just, I'm going to do this, and I'm going to strike out, and fine, you're going to call me I don't want this to happen again, but I'm going to do it in this manner.
Right, because it doesn't matter how good you are. If somebody sees you as being arrogant, that's the way they need to see you. And we are somebody else's problem. No matter how good you are, how right you are, how happy you are, and you proceed to show this and be this, somebody is in therapy because of you. Because it's your signature they're having an issue with. Not you per se, unless you raise your hand as the soul and says, "Oh, I'll be the butthead for that person over there."
Right.
And you don't even have to be in that person's world. You could be walking down the street and that person hates yellow and you happen to have a little yellow on your outfit. They could get aggravated by that. Where everybody else is mirrors. We don't know exactly sometimes how.
The area code 519.
You're on the air with Brenda and Jen. Hello.
Me and my friend Tiffany, we're going to get together properly.
You want to know how you and your friend Tiffany are going to get together, or will you get together?
Yeah, I think we will, but,
Okay.
So some details about that.
We're going to look at this relationship, and he has a specific person in mind. Just like I tell everybody, focus on that specific person. And because you're going to do that, we're going to look at all of the energies that could stop you, or could bring you together. Everybody has their stuff that they have to work on, but we're looking at do you have children, or will you between you? Do you
That's why they're playing with my eyes.
And when you come together, do you feel like children, where you have fun?